Hi my crafter friends, welcome back to my craft room. It's Jeannie Rainey here with our Focus Friday class on color and contour with the dies, scalloped contour dies that coordinate with it. Let's start out with creating a background. The background is going to be on Petal Pink using Petal Pink ink, and because these stamps are photopolymer, we do need our piercing mat. So I'm just going to stamp random. Our background. This is Daffodil Delight. We're using the same color of ink on the flower. We'll make 2 of those. And then we'll cut our pieces that we need for the card, the scalloped rectangle. And then we're only using the leaf portion of the stamp. So we wipe off the flowers at the top. And then one of the flowers we fold in half. Now at this point I'm trying to position my flowers because I wanted to add another little flower bud. Wasn't considering the sentiment, so I really wasn't happy with where the bud was, so I'd recommend to put the flower bud in between the 2 flowers at the top instead of the bottom. You'll see what I mean when I try to position the sentiment on. Another thing that's kind of a mistake here is that the scalloped piece should be about 1 inch longer. So when you do yours, don't cut it in half. I think you'll be happier with the results of having a little more white, because then it will also help in positioning the sentiment. So very happy for you. So the tailored tag punch will allow us to banner cut the bottom, which makes just a nice sentiment. So using the Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up a bit. See, I just had a hard time figuring out the sentiment because that little flower bud, I didn't want to cover it up, but I had to cover it up a little bit. So it's okay, worked out fine, but I think you'll be happier if you position it a little bit different. So there's that card. Now for the next one, we're going to be using the same stamp with the flowers and leaves. And I'm going to stamp it off first so that it's a little lighter. Then I brought in a blender pen to pull the color through the flowers. I think this pen is a little bit dry. Anyways, I got the results I wanted. Then to clean off the pen, you have to pull backwards, pull and turn until there's no color coming out of the pen. Now we're going to use the Mango Melody with the flower outline. And this time I'm going to show you how you can get the same results of coloring with a watercolor brush. Water painter brush. So it just pulls the ink. You can't wait too long. If the ink is too dry, it won't spread. So you got to do it kind of quickly. So stamp and then pull the water through. And this one I had to add a little more water from the stamp pad, or not water but ink. I wanted a little more color. Clean off your brush between every color. And then we're going to use Granny Apple Green with the leaves. Same technique. It just gives a little bit of color. I'll take my dies and I will fussy cut the leaves. I'm going to die cut the scallop for the back or the top portion of the card. Now the instructions call for a different type of paper, which I didn't have, so I'm using my blender brush, and I'm just going to add some ink to the top portion of this scalloped piece. You'll see at the end where I give all the supplies used. I just didn't have the paper that it called for, so I'm improvising. Okay. Then just hold that on there so that you can see where to stamp your sentiment underneath in the right-hand corner. Then I'm going to stamp the flowers. Stamp off first, but then I want them to hang down below my yellow, and I accidentally got some ink right on the edge of my card and it made me flustered, so I adhered my yellow portion too early. I meant to stamp the green splatter, which in this stamp set, that splatter that comes with it is a wonderful tool. Sometimes when you try to splatter off your brush or a water brush, you get too much or not enough, or it goes in the wrong place. But by having this stamp, your splatters are always going to be perfect and perfectly placed. So after I apply these flowers, I'm going to go ahead and put those, or stamp with the green splatter. It just adds so much to a card. So I was able to cover up the smudge. So you see I went back and I stamped off first, but then here's the instructions, or the supplies for this card. Here's the supplies for the other card. I want to thank you so much for coming and watching my video. Be sure and share and like. Again, that's contour, color and contour and scallop dies bundle. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.